In the second half, with the Drake Bulldogs leading the Valparaiso Beacons by 11 points at 41-30. Larry Morgan, Adam Emmenecker with you on this Wednesday night in the Valley as we start the second half of the Valley season. Off the baseline, the shot is short by DeAveiro, and the rebound taken by the Bulldogs. Here's Enright, who did not score in the first half, attacking the basket. Now Wright, who's been red hot, misses this time from the three-point line. Stafford pulls up. Only 4 Beacons scored in the first half, Adam.
Oh, Isaiah Stafford, we mentioned the bright spot is a turnover here, a little miscue there for Valparaiso here as we're just about 40 seconds into this first half. Isaiah Stafford, a guy that really carried this offense. 18 out of the 30 points for Valpo. Coach Powell, no doubt. You saw getting Darius DeAveiro a chance downhill. And how about that? Cooper Schwieger, unlucky in the right spot to grab that rebound. Missed time in the jump and tapping it in, giving Tucker DeVries an easy 2.
Cooper Schwieger, by the way, has not scored tonight for Valparaiso. Here is the freshman going against the senior, the 6th-year senior, Darnell Brody. We mentioned giving up more than 50 pounds, and it's been a frustrating night, but maybe a learning experience for the freshman.
Yeah, and it played well the first time out. 13 points, 6 rebounds, picked up a couple assists. Cooper Schwieger just hasn't been as actively involved here so far in this game. Going to need a bigger second-half performance out of the young freshman.
Stafford picks up the foul. It's interesting that this is the first year that players could have digits higher than 5 on their uniform number, and a lot of teams have not gone to that. On the other hand, Valpo's gone to it big time.
In spades, yes. Working one of their games, I actually had the opportunity to work the Drake-Valpo game in Valparaiso earlier this year, and that was one of the first thing I noticed, Larry, that it's just unusual to see so many numbers like 19 and 7 and 6. Just a little unorthodox for the history of college basketball.
I was asking one of the refs, Chance Moore, I said, have you experienced that a lot? He said, no, I haven't. I said, why did anybody think this was really a good idea?
Well, you know,
Who wanted it?
I do like it. You know, why not? Why not use all the numbers we have at our disposal? If a guy wants to be 99, is a good inbounds play right there. Tucker DeVries doing a good job getting position early and going up and finishing. But if a guy wants to be number 99 because it's his lucky number, why? Because the officials only have 2 hands. We can't signal 9 twice.
I think that's a really good reason right there. Plus the fact that makes it just a little more confusing for some play-by-play guys.
Yeah, well, it is all about you, Larry. We do know that about you.
Here's Tucker DeVries inbounding. And the Bulldogs enjoying their biggest lead now, up at 45-30. Drake trying to win their 17th in a row at home. Right now tied for the 5th longest home court winning streak in the country. Virginia has the longest at 21. Some slight hand by DeVries. He somehow recovers, missing the shot the first time and the second, which is really rare for Tucker DeVries. Cross-court feed. Here comes Isaiah Stafford. Bumped by Enright, but it doesn't bother him. But the shot is off. Coming the other way is Wright, and he can't finish. And the ball goes out of bounds to Drake.
No, good strength on the defensive side by Connor Enright, taking the bump from Isaiah Stafford, not giving an inch, forcing that fadeaway. Is both these teams a similar start in the second half, Larry, to what we saw in the first half. Just kind of unable to really get a flow. Possessions, ball's not popping back and forth. Both these teams still feeling each other out here in the second half.
Jerome Palm back in for Valparaiso. Has not seen a lot of playing time over the last couple of ball games, but getting more time tonight. It's a bigger body to clog the middle against the Bulldogs. Here's Overton looking for 3 off the front of the iron on the rebound grab by Palm. Palm started the first 11 games of the year, but just of late has not played much basketball for Valparaiso. But a chance tonight to maybe regain a spot in the lineup as he knocks that shot down for his first points of the night.
Yeah, that's one of the places Jerome Palm helps this offense, stepping out to 15 feet. Not necessarily a guy that's a consistent three-point shooter, but that 15-footer is in his skill set.
Palm comes up with a block on that end off Overton. Williamson quickly into the offensive end. And he's going to be fouled by Connor Enright. Crowd thought, and looks like Connor, by his expression, thought maybe an arm was thrown there, but that's not the way the officials saw it.
We'll take a look at it here. Jahari Williamson trying to go around, and yeah, there's a little bit of that arm extension, and Connor Enright may have a case to be made there, but the most difficult call for officials is that block charge, and we've seen it simplified around the rim with help defenders. A lot more blocks called this year, and trying to keep that verticality, keep play going, but on the perimeter, we still see a fair amount of those charges called.
And meanwhile, Enright picks up another foul, and that will be his third. And the Bulldogs are a little light at that position because Colby Garland missing his second ball game tonight because of a knee issue. And so Darren DeVries is going to have to do some adjusting as he takes Enright out of the ball game with those 3 fouls.
And one of the things Drake did best in the first half is guarding without fouling. Only 5 team fouls in the first half for Drake. Nate Ferguson, the only one with 2. Drake did get in the double bonus. 10 team fouls for Valparaiso. That a big part of Drake's first half edge.
Williamson tries to score with 3 on the shot clock, and Brody has the rebound. Darnell Brody with a dozen rebounds. And by the way, he tonight has moved from 4th to 3rd place on the career rebound list, passing your old teammate, Bucky Cox. Inside, right, has it rejected by Palm. Palm's making a name for himself, isn't he, giving the opportunity?
I was just going to say, really good minutes so far for Jerome Palm. Knocking down that 15-footer, couple rebounds, and a couple blocks on the defensive end as well, as Isaiah Stafford getting all the way to the rim. Gets him up to 20 points. A smooth 20 for Isaiah Stafford, still 16 minutes to play.
An 11-point ball game in Valparaiso, as we mentioned. They've been in a lot of close games in the Valley. They are not going away. The 3 won't go by Kyron Gibson, and the rebound claimed once again by Jahari Williams.
And another possession. Good defense by Valpo. Not a lot of ball movement or player movement from Drake. And who needs ball movement and player movement when you got Isaiah Stafford, 22 points, cooking on all 3 levels.
And a timeout called with 15:37 left to play in the first half. The Bulldogs one-time 15-point lead, shaved to 9. And the Bulldogs certainly experienced that with an 87-65 loss when they played there. It just goes to show you this was a 30-point matchup between Indiana State and Belmont in Terre Haute, and a 30-point win by the Sycamores. Different story tonight in Nashville.
Yeah, so hard to win on the road in this league. In another game we didn't mention, but you saw the score, 48-37. Bradley up on Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa coming out hot early in the second half. But Bradley, we mentioned Indiana State. Bradley and Indiana State, 2 of the hottest teams in the Missouri Valley. Between those 2 and Drake, all teams vying for postseason life.
Bradley and Indiana State played a terrific game on Saturday, didn't they?
Yeah, oh man, that was as fun a game as I've watched this year in college basketball. Going back and forth, both teams making plays. You know, sometimes you watch those games, Larry, and it's just a test of wills and no one's really playing well. That was not the case, Bradley, Indiana State. Both those teams clicking on all cylinders.
Atten Wright with a shot at the horn. Bulldogs get the rebound, though, in the person of Kyron Gibson. So the Bulldogs really struggled to get a shot off. Finally, desperation shot, but they get the rebound back, and the ball knocked away and deflected, and it is picked up by Jerome Palm.
Better offense, though. A little ball movement on the first portion of that possession, and Kyron Gibson getting in the lane for Drake. So even though unable to finish, pretty good action, good activity for the Bulldogs.
Stafford working against Gibson, hits the shot.
I mean, Isaiah Stafford going to his left. He likes to pull up. He likes to pull up in that mid-range. We saw the step back from about 8 feet. That time getting him in his groove at about 17. And Isaiah Stafford, 22 in this one.
So you know that he's a marked man. What are the Bulldogs trying to do to slow him down?
Well, they're trying to press up on him, right? They're trying to not give him anything easy, stay connected to his body over screens. Isaiah Stafford just too crafty, too strong.
Wright attacks. The follow shot is put down by Rosario.
Another good cut from Carlos Rosario. We saw it a little earlier in the first half, slipping a screen, getting all the way to the rim. That time just cutting on the backside. Right place, right time, as Wright was trying to get to the rim.
Stafford retrieves the basketball. Crowd thought it was over and back, but DeVries did touch it. Schwieger looking for his first points, draws the double team. Shot clock goes down to 8. Stafford makes a move on DeVries, gets DeVries into the air, unable to finish the shot. Ferguson captures the rebound for the Bulldogs. Great, moving it quickly. Rosario for 3. His third three of the season.
And how about Carlos Rosario? Good minutes so far in this game. 7 points for a guy that's kind of been in the rotation, out of the rotation, doesn't play regularly, giving his team a lift.
Only the second Bulldog basket in their last 12 tries. Jackson Edwards picks up his dribble. Palm trying to work inside against Ferguson with 6 on the shot clock. Ferguson snatches another rebound for Drake. Rosario thought about it, instead threads his way inside and scores and draws a foul on Schwieger. Carlos Rosario, whose season high is 10 against Alcorn State, has exploded here for 7 in the second half.
You know, Larry, part of what coaches are looking for is they're looking for depth. They're looking for guys who are going to step up and make plays. Carlos Rosario doing his thing in the second half here for Drake.
And you are watching the Valley on ESPN.
Blue Buffalo, huh?
Yeah, Purina.
Bulldogs leading by a score of 52-38 over Valparaiso. Big honor announced today for Tucker DeVries.
Yeah, I mean, how cool for Tucker DeVries to be listed as one of the top final 10 candidates for the Julius Erving Award. So not only does he have an award in his toolbox with Larry Bird in it, just to be, you saw some of the names on the screen, and I know I didn't get to them fast enough, but to just be mentioned with a guy like Julius Erving, just a heck of an honor for the top small forward in college basketball. Tucker DeVries, a testament to his work and the success he's had in a Drake uniform.
And just another addition to the watch list that's lengthy for DeVries, as Rosario has come up big, and by knocking down that free throw, he scored the last 8 Bulldog points. And he has scored a combined 8 points in his last 7 games. But when the Bulldogs needed him, especially little short of a bench with Colby Garland out, he certainly responded tonight.
Yeah, and we mentioned it before, it was Kyron Gibson against Valpo that really had his breakout game in Valparaiso. And maybe for Carlos Rosario, this is a sign of things to come, as Ajiboye knocking down that mid-range jumper. Nate Ferguson lost a little bit there on defense, but Carlos Rosario getting into double figures. And a miscommunication there with he and Atten Wright, but good minutes from number 13 in blue.
And that Ajiboye basket ended an 8-0 Drake run. Bulldogs' biggest lead tonight has been 15. Right now it's 13. As DeAveiro comes into the offensive end, he has been held down tonight by the Bulldog defense. Basically, Stafford has gotten his, and the rest of the squad for Valparaiso looking for theirs. Shot clock inside 10. DeAveiro on the drive, knocks down the shot.
And we saw the same thing in the first half. Drive into his right hand. DeAveiro able to knock down that mid-range jumper. You know, I was looking around, Larry. No Isaiah Stafford in the game. Took me a minute to figure out why there's other guys shooting when Isaiah Stafford has 22. And a big part of that reason, getting a rest on the bench. Good offense last couple possessions from Valpo.
Atten Wright for 3, his 4th 3 of the ball game.
That dribble penetration so important. Good find in transition, DeAveiro.
Shot won't go by Ochiboye. Enright having a tough shooting night as turn distributor and doing a good job in that category. Comes around the Ferguson screen. Rosario works against the defense of DeAveiro. Poked away by Ferguson. Picked back up by Wright. 4 seconds for the Bulldogs to shoot it. Rosario tried to make one pass too many and hit Ferguson. It results in a Drake turnover.
Yeah, a little bit too unselfish. Rosario had the size, had a good opportunity right near the rim. Trying to be a little too unselfish. Good hustle to get back in the play by Williamson.
DeAveiro pulls up, fires, and scores. So he's hit 4 baskets tonight, and both times have been back-to-back baskets.
Yeah, back-to-back. And DeAveiro snaking that screen, going around to the other side, keeping the defender on his back. So crafty moving around those screen and rolls.
Ferguson at the high post is Darnell Brody getting a rest down the lane. Comes right, and he travels. And the Bulldogs are guilty of their 10th turnover, which is about what they average for an entire ball game. 5 of them came very early on this one. 10 minutes and 2 seconds left to play. The Bulldogs with a lead of 12, and you're watching the Valley on ESPN.
So yeah, USAA, they always have my back.
USAA, you were...
The Bulldogs, as they begin the second half of the season, 1 game out of first place at 8-2. Valparaiso in 11th at 2-8, and 1 game out of 10th spot with their record of 2-8. And it's the time of the year we start looking at the standings and thinking about nets and all those kind of things.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, you talk about that, Larry, and you say where the teams are in the standings, and you wonder if a Valparaiso team, okay, this is a young team, you're going on the road, would they be a little intimidated, get down early, and maybe you'd see a team start to fold, and that's not what we've seen at all. And credit Roger Powell and his staff for how they continue to find ways to get this team to fight and improve. And a guy that's been really quiet in this one, my favorite for freshman of the year so far in the league, Cooper Schwieger knocking down his first shot, showing off his range from deep.
Comes in averaging 11.5 points a ball game, freshman from Overland Park, Kansas. DeVries starts to move, and reaching out is Connor Barrett to pick up his second foul. So with the second half of the season beginning, and of course it's an unbalanced schedule.
Yeah.
Drake will play Murray State only once at home, and then they will go to UIC, only play them once on the road in Evansville. Or I should say Valparaiso is going to be home with Southern Illinois, and then they go to Belmont as their games. And there is a foul called on Barrett, and that's his third.
And we were talking earlier, Larry, about Indiana State and the Indiana State-Belmont game, and it looks like Indiana State now up 4 with just about 30 seconds to play. But Indiana State coming after this game, only one more game the rest of the way. So the game this weekend against Drake, right? A big showdown and a revenge game from Indiana State. But after that one, only one game against a team who has a winning record in the Missouri Valley Conference. So the Sycamores, early loaded schedule, already won 2 games against Bradley, only play Northern Iowa once. So the Sycamores in a pretty good position as you come down the home stretch of the league play.
That's really an interesting point that you bring up. But a big one on Saturday for the Bulldogs and the Sycamores as they square off in Terre Haute in the rematch of a really good game here, which Drake won 89-78. Off balance, DeAveiro able to knock it down anyway.
And a little bit of full court pressure, just some token pressure from Valparaiso, but DeAveiro starting to get loose a little. Drake did a good job in ball screen defense in the first half, not allowing DeAveiro to get all the way to the rim. That time DeAveiro sticking downhill as Darnell Brody trying to impose his size and will against the freshman Schwieger.
And for Schwieger, that will be, the scoreboard says number 5, so I believed it was 4, but I think he is fouled out. It's according to the scoreboard.
Yeah, and we have him for 4 fouls as well. So that's the 5th foul on Cooper Schwieger. So only an opportunity to play about 22 minutes and just those 5 points.
And Darnell Brody, the perhaps chief reason why Schwieger's leaving the ballgame with 8:57 to play. Brody, who has done a terrific job with 14 rebounds, is firing on the free throw. And the ball out of bounds, and it will be going to Valparaiso. Crusaders back home on, I knew I'd messed that up at least once. The Beacons back home on Saturday against Evansville. And then they go to Indiana State next week.
Yeah, what was that, 3 years ago, Larry? Valparaiso changing their mascot, changing their name to the Beacons.
Die hard. Bulldogs move the ball down the floor very quickly, and it's a nice assist from Overton to Gibson.
And just transition. I mean, transition offense is so friendly for this Drake team, and for Valparaiso, it shows how quickly missed shots and turnovers can lead to 2 at the other end.
DeVries picks up the foul. It'll be his first. Bulldogs just their 3rd foul in the second half. Meanwhile, Valparaiso with 7.
I'll take a look at Tucker DeVries trying to get in front of this dribble handoff. Caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Not very happy with that call.
DeAveiro works his way down the lane. Really a great story. A guy who averaged less than 2 points a game last year and a main player for Valparaiso this year. And Roger Powell Jr. calls him the foundation of what he wants to build.
Yeah. Well, and a big part of that when you think about Darius DeAveiro is his unselfishness. And he's continued to get better throughout his career in a Beacon uniform, and his ability to facilitate offense really the key for Coach Roger Powell.
Witherspoon with the miss. The rebound is run down by Kyron Gibson. Just under 8 to play, and the Bulldogs with a 13-point lead. Biggest lead of the night has been 15. DeVries and Brody, that combination has been outstanding throughout the season, and it works again there, and a chance at an and one.
And the big fella right now has probably a good 4 or 5 inches and also maybe a good 60 or 70 pounds, imposing his will in the middle. Darnell Brody, the and one opportunity.
And for Witherspoon, that is his 4th foul. Brody will go to the line, trying to complete the 3-point play when we return to the Knapp Center. 7:46 remains. The Bulldogs up by 15. And now, and apparently Schwieger is back in the ball game. Is that right? Or back down to 4 fouls? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, not often do you get a chance for second life in a basketball game, and Cooper Schwieger able to zombie his way back into this one, coming back from 5-foul death.
You said to zombie his way back into this one. That's a great term. I love it.
Thanks, Larry.
That's good. That's good, Adam.
And it did, when I looked at it earlier, I was like, Cooper's 5 fouls. When did he get his 4th? But looks like an error in the book, and zombie opportunity for Cooper Schwieger coming back from the dead here on the Valpo bench.
Stafford on the miss for Valpo, and now the Bulldogs with the chance to take their biggest lead of the night. DeVries trying to break down Edwards. Right inside. Brody just waits for the traffic to clear. Misfires.
Contact too.
Yes, there was.
Contact on the ball fakes
with the rebound.
Sorry, Larry.
Next time that Darnell scores, he'll have another double-double. That will be his 4th this season.
And so 7 minutes to go. A lot of momentum for Drake, but Valpo still right in this thing. And another take by Darius DeAveiro, getting all the way to the rim. Just a 13-point margin. Valparaiso, the Beacons, continuing to fight.
DeAveiro with 8 points in the second half, really leading this Valpo charge back into it. Hatton Wright works against the defensive Stafford. Down low it is Connor Enright, spinning, firing, and leaving it short. Defensively, all over him, Jackson Edwards.
Yeah, good patience, Jackson Edwards. Not going for those ball fakes, using his length.
And then there's an offensive foul called against Valpo.
Moving screen on Jerome Palm, and a grimace from Tucker DeVries right in front of us. Looks like he maybe got clipped on that one, and that is not a happy face from the preseason player of the year, Tucker DeVries.
His shoulder was a concern against Northern Iowa, got banged up. I didn't see where the contact occurred. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, running through those screens, I didn't see exactly if it was that right shoulder, but you see Tucker DeVries off in the corner talking to the trainer.
And he is rubbing his right shoulder, and you certainly hope that that is not the situation. That's the one that has bothered him time to time this season. Wright with the assist. Darnell Brody now with a double-double with his 11th point. And the Bulldogs with their biggest lead. Let's take another look at the contact involving Tucker DeVries.
Yeah, it looks like he's ready to come back in the game. So watch this. Yeah, navigating around that screen, and that little hip stick out from Jerome Palm. And Tucker DeVries looks like he just got clipped in that shoulder. And you see that facial expression. A lot of pain on the sideline. Good to see him back headed to the bench. No doubt we'll see him back in this basketball game.
On top it is Stafford, makes a move on Connor Enright, gets underneath Enright to score.
And Isaiah Stafford up to 26 points. Just a really good move, using the leverage of the defense against Connor Enright.
Shot long by Kevin Overton. There is Darnell Brody with the rebound. And Darnell Brody approaching a career best in rebounds. Had 17 against Southern Illinois last year. Schwieger on the miss, and the rebound taken by Gibson.
looking to keep feeding him. Good job as Drake offense looking to see if they can get it to the big fella. Good denial by Schwieger.
Here's Overton, who's had some tough luck shooting tonight, but he knocks that one down. That gives him an 8-point ball game and gives the Bulldogs their biggest lead. At the other end, quick basket try won't go, and a foul is called.
Isaiah
And
Stafford.
it's going to be on Connor Enright, and that'll be number 4.
Isaiah Stafford so strong, going to the rim, and difficult to stay in front of. He's not necessarily the quickest. He's quick, but he's not necessarily the quickest like Jahari Williamson, but it's his strength when he gets just a little bit of daylight, a little bit of an edge on the defender. And you have to respect his ability to step back and knock down jumpers.
Isaiah Stafford knocks down his 27th point, his career best 31 against Evansville. And DeVries back in, much to the relief of Bulldog faithful and the coaching staff as well, as Connor Enright with those 4 fouls will leave. Stafford leaves that free throw opportunity short. Schwieger got a hand on it, but it's run down by Gibson.
And it looked like Tucker DeVries didn't want to go up with that right arm to corral that rebound. So something we'll have to continue to watch is his overall health as he adjusts back into this basketball game.
Brody comes high to set the screen. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Kyron Gibson gives it up for Overton. Overton with 2 seconds, forces his shot, and hits nothing but net.
Looks like the official is getting a timeout here, getting Tucker DeVries out of this basketball game, and wasn't able to, noticing that rebound a minute ago just on the free throw line, did not extend that right arm up to grab the ball, and now he's headed back to the locker room to talk to the training staff. But Kevin Overton finally got a second one to go down. Just that little jab series at the end of the shot clock. Good awareness from the freshman.
Big concern as DeVries leaves the court with trainer Andrew Vereen. Here's Stafford off balance for some, but not
Tough.
for him.
I mean, tough. That's one of the things that we've seen, I think, athletes do such a good job of with their skills trainers, is getting accustomed to those slow steps as they're finishing around the rim to get the defenses to blow by. Isaiah Stafford using it with high efficiency here in the Knapp Center.
Overton with the miss. DeAveiro leaves it for Schwieger, and Schwieger knocks down a 3. So here's a big guy who's got good three-point shooting ability, 37% from the three-point line this season, averaging 11.5 in his freshman year. And as you say, one of the leading candidates for the Valley Freshman of the Year.
Yeah. I mean, I think Cooper Schwieger, you look at the skill set, and we haven't seen him on the interior much, but he can score with his back to the basket, step out, run through those screen and rolls. He's an avid and willing passer.
Brody on a nice feed from Overton. So Darnell Brody, after a slow offensive start, has 10 second-half points, so he's got 16 points. His 17 rebounds are not only equaling a career high, but it is the most number of rebounds somebody's recorded in the Valley this season.
Wow.
Break in the action with 2:55 left to play. The Bulldogs with a 77-61 lead over Valpo. You're watching the Valley on ESPN.
And just the difficulty of the Valley schedule night in, night out, especially for young teams when they're struggling. Tough to find opportunities to get a win, especially on the road.
And the Bulldogs, meanwhile, an equally tough schedule, but it starts Saturday at Terre Haute against Indiana State in the rematch.
Yeah, Indiana State definitely going to be amped up for that one. Terre Haute, we've seen a couple straight sellouts for the Sycamores as well, so great to see fans coming out to that game. No doubt that'll be a rocking environment. Southern Illinois, and then another one at Bradley the next week. So Drake has a tough stretch here against some teams in the upper echelon of the Valley standings.
Andrew Vereen, the Bulldog trainer, has come out. He has advised Darren DeVries on the situation with Tucker DeVries as far as his shoulder. But I don't believe Tucker has returned to the bench.
Yeah, he looks like he is on the bench,
there he
but
is,
with
yeah.
2.5 minutes to go, I would be surprised to see him in this basketball game with Drake now up to a 17-point lead.
How about this night for Darnell Brody? 18 points, 17 rebounds, and again, that is a equaling a career high with 17 rebounds and the most in the Valley this season. And he now has his 4th double-double this season.
And a big number. We didn't talk about this much in the first half, but this Valpo team is 2nd in the MVC as Schwieger knocks down his 3rd three, putting him up to 9 points. This Valpo team is 2nd in the MVC in offensive rebounds per game. 0 so far in this one for the Beacons.
Here's Schwieger giving it up. And it's once again Stafford, and that equals a career-best 31 points for Isaiah Stafford.
17 goes to 11 pretty quickly with that timeout, or excuse me, with that turnover a minute ago and the full court pressure for the Beacons. And I thought they could have gotten Connor Enright there for a hook as he was going around the defender.
Apparently so did Roger Powell Jr. with the way that he is reacting.
And the defensive pressure from the Beacons bothering Drake. Now 11 points, and again, no quit for Valparaiso.
By the way, this man has a voice that can fill the Knapp Center. He can be loud when he needs to be. Connor Enright without a basket thus far tonight. And a rare free throw miss for the 75% free throw shooter. Coming off a really good ball game against Northern Iowa. 14 points, 4 steals, 3 rebounds. He's been in double figures in the last 2 ball games, but not tonight. The Bulldogs, meanwhile, hit the 80-point mark. And with Darren DeVries at the head coaching position, the Bulldogs are 63-2 when they hit 80 points. Attenwright looks for a few more. Gets it to Brody, and the Bulldogs will just pull it out and look for a high percentage shot with still 20 on the shot clock.
A smart play from Darnell Brody. Had an opportunity around the rim, but the clock is your friend. Up 12 here with just over a minute to play.
Gibson just winding down the clock, which goes to 4 seconds. Darren DeVries says attack, and so he does, and misses. Darnell Brody tries to get the follow shot and can't. And with 51 seconds left to play, it will be Valpo basketball. Drake basketball, you're right, out of bounds.
Darnell Brody won't get credit for that one. The right place, right time, earning the extra possession. Another
big
20
night
seconds
for Darnell Brody, wasn't it?
Another 20 seconds to run off the shot clock. Yeah, a big night. 18 points, 17 rebounds. Darnell Brody making the most of his senior campaign.
Stafford chasing Enright. Enright to the basket, and he gets knocked to the court, but no call there. Here's a steal by Brody. And there's a foul called.
Who again? I mean, Darnell Brody. It's rebounding, it's steals. Saw him running the floor in transition. And how about Darnell Brody? That's the 8th foul he's drawn. So just generating a lot of contact, putting the pressure on the Valpo defense. Darnell Brody, a heck of a game on both ends.
And for the second time tonight, Cooper Schwieger is fouled out.
How many times have you said that, Larry? The zombie goes back to...
Everybody makes errors, and there was an error, which was at the scorer's table that ruled that he had picked up his 5th foul and was only 4, but this time it really is 5, and he does foul out. And Darnell Brody, meanwhile, tallies his 19th point, his career best 21, and that was against the Beacons. Williamson misfires. Stafford will try it again, looking for a new career high. Didn't get it that time. But a foul called underneath.
How about the game Isaiah Stafford had with 32 points in this one? Just so smooth on the offensive end. Isaiah Stafford, such a tough cover. And when this Valpo team was struggling in the first half, he really was almost the sole offensive output in the first half. Isaiah Stafford, 18 points, 6 of 10 from the floor, 3 of 5 from 3. Heck of a game for number 19.
And again, a career best for Stafford. Previous best 31 against Valparaiso, and when he was, against Evansville, and when he was in Southern Indiana, I should say, he also got a 31-point performance.
Who was he playing against, Larry?
That would be he played for Southern Indiana.
Against who?
Lindenwood.
Okay.
That's how he got the other 31-point performance.
Who was he playing for?
That would be Southern Indiana. What did The next Bulldog game at home, by the way, will be against Southern Illinois. There you go. So it's going to be a closer score at the end than probably this ball game was late.
Well, I think a lot of credit to this Valpo team continuing to battle on the road, and not the best showing overall, but you see why the future is bright for Coach Roger Powell, and a heck of an effort. No quit in this Valparaiso crew, and Drake happy to escape.